You are working, but your work is missing. A request lands in a Slack thread, someone replies with a thumbs up, and 2 days later, it is treated like it never happened. Decisions get trapped in DMs. Urgent work looks optional because it is invisible. Nobody owns it. Deadlines drift, and somehow you are the one chasing people for context you never asked for. That is not a productivity problem. That is an intake problem. Fix the door, and the chaos stops being your job. Moving to slide 2. Stop trying to be faster. Start where work enters. We need one door, even if requests come from 10 places. Email, Slack, meetings, tickets, hallway drive-bys. Fine. But every single one must end up in the same intake path, with the same rules, every time. When someone asks for something, your default response is not to do it. Your default response is to route it. That removes heroics and replaces them with flow. And once intake is consistent, execution becomes predictable, because you are no longer discovering work after it is already late. Predictability is what your team actually wants. Moving to slide 3. Your intake breaks the moment you treat every message like a task. So define what counts. A request is work. An FYI is not. A question might be a quick answer, or it might be a task disguised as curiosity. An idea is not a commitment until someone agrees to a next step and an owner. Approval is not execution. If you approved it, who is doing it, by when, and what does done mean? Also separate risk from preference. Risk means it can break something, violate policy, or harm customers. Preference means someone likes it better. When you label these correctly, you stop wasting cycles, and you stop missing real deadlines for fake urgency. Moving to slide 4. Now make capture automatic with one capture layer. Give people a single ingest address for email and forwards. In Slack, use a simple app or workflow so a message can be turned into an intake item without rewriting it. Add forwarding rules and tags so common sources auto-route to the right queue. Send an auto-ACK within minutes that says, "Received, here is the tracking link, here is what we still need." No manual copy-paste. The goal is that the moment someone asks, the system captures it, timestamps it, and assigns it a home. When capture is effortless, compliance becomes effortless too. Moving to slide 5. Use AI for triage, not magic. The AI should read the request and summarize it in one clean sentence. Then it should extract key fields you care about, like requester, deadline, system affected, and desired outcome. It can suggest a type, like bug, change request, question, or approval, and propose a priority based on impact and time sensitivity. It should detect missing information, like no environment, no acceptance criteria, no owner, no due date. And it should flag risky wording, like promises to customers or scope that touches security or finance. That is how AI saves time, by making every request structured before a human touches it. Moving to slide 6. When your intake is messy, everything downstream gets messy. Standard fields win because they force clarity. Every request needs an owner and a requester. It needs a due date or an SLA. It needs a priority with a shared definition, not vibes. It needs a definition of done, so finished is measurable. And it needs links and attachments in the ticket, not scattered. Do this, and work stops slipping through cracks. Moving to slide 7. Routing is how you turn a pile of tickets into a flow of work. Start simple. Route by topic keywords, like billing, login, or reporting, so the right specialist sees it first. Route by requester type, like internal teams versus external customers, because expectations and SLAs differ. Route by system component, like mobile, API, data pipeline, so ownership is obvious. If nothing matches, it goes to a triage queue with a clear promise. Someone looks at it within a set window, and only escalate true emergencies, meaning user impact and time sensitivity are real, not loud. Good routing prevents bottlenecks, and it also prevents your backlog from filling with the same issue 10 different ways. Moving to slide 8. Duplicates waste time twice because you investigate twice and you update twice. Kill them early. Use thread-aware grouping so email replies and forwards don't become new tickets. Add mere duplicate detection by matching titles, error codes, URLs, and affected components. When you spot a match, link the new request to the existing item instead of creating a parallel track. Merge updates cleanly into one timeline, so the latest repro steps and logs are in one place. And preserve requester credit by keeping them listed as related requesters or watchers, so nobody feels ignored. One real ticket with 10 linked reports moves faster than 10 tickets fighting each other for attention. That only works if your priority system actually means something. Moving to slide 9. Priority needs teeth, or it is just a label people argue about. Define severity in plain language tied to impact. For example, P0 means a widespread outage or data loss in progress. P1 means a major feature is broken for many users with no workaround. P2 means partial impact or a workaround exists. P3 is minor or cosmetic. Then attach SLA clocks to those priorities, both for first response and for resolution targets. Make the clock automatic, not negotiated in comments. Set auto reminders before breach, like a nudge at 50%, 75%, and 90% of the SLA window, sent to the owner and the backup owner. Document the escalation path, including who can declare an incident, who pages whom, and who communicates outward. Finally, allow reprioritization, but require an audit trail. Who changed it, when, and why, with the impact evidence. When priority has consequences, your team stops debating and starts delivering. Moving to slide 10. Closing the loop fast is how you keep trust while work is happening. Give the requester status updates that answer one question: what is happening now, and what happens next? Even a short note like investigating logs, next update by 3 p.m. reduces churn. Use AI to draft clarification questions the moment a ticket is created.
So you collect environment, steps to reproduce, expected versus actual, and screenshots or logs before an engineer touches it.
Keep one thread, one truth. Don't let decisions live in side chats. If a blocker appears, surface it immediately with a clear ask, like access, a sample account, or approval. When you mark done, send a done message that includes proof: the commit or change ID, the test performed, and how the requester can verify. Fast closure changes behavior. People file better requests because they see they will get a real outcome. Moving to slide 11, dashboards change behavior because they remove ambiguity. If you can see intake volume by source, you stop arguing about why work feels chaotic and you start fixing the loudest pipe. When email is 40% of requests, you can redirect it or staff it, but you cannot pretend it is fine. Track aging work by priority, so urgent stops being a vibe. If P1s sit for 9 days, your system is lying. Top request categories tell you what to templatize, automate, or push back on. If half your work is access requests, build a standard form, pre-approvals, and a default turnaround. Reopen and bounce rates expose quality. Reopens mean unclear requirements or rushed delivery. Bounces mean the request entered the wrong lane. Fix those with better intake fields, clearer acceptance criteria, and tighter ownership. Finally, load by owner and team forces fair distribution. One person drowning is not heroism. It is a single point of failure. When the dashboard is public and updated, behavior shifts quietly because the story becomes undeniable and the change feels earned, not imposed. Moving to slide 12. Rollout without Revolt starts by shrinking the blast radius. Pick one team with moderate volume and a manager who will protect the experiment. Choose one intake channel, even if it is imperfect, because multiple doors guarantee exceptions and backchannels. Define exceptions upfront. For example, security incidents bypass intake. Executive escalations still get logged, but can skip the queue. When you name exceptions, you prevent people from inventing them. Train with real examples. Bring last week's messy requests and show how they get categorized, what fields matter, and what a ready ticket looks like. People do not resist process, they resist wasted time. So make the first win obvious. Faster routing, fewer clarifying messages, clear owners. Enforce gently and consistently. When someone pings you in chat, you respond with the link and a one-sentence reason, every time. No shaming, no bargaining. Consistency is kindness because it removes guesswork. When the pilot team feels the relief, you get pull instead of push. And that is the moment control starts to feel like support, not constraint. Moving to slide 13. Security and control make the system safe enough to trust. Start with least privilege access so people only see what they need. If a vendor or junior analyst cannot browse sensitive queues, you avoid accidental disclosure. Set data retention boundaries. Decide what gets deleted, when, and who can export it. Put PII redaction rules in writing and in the workflow. If a request includes customer data, it gets masked before it hits shared spaces. Lock down model prompts and templates so one well-meaning edit does not change outputs across the team. Then turn on audit logs for every change to fields, routing rules, and automation with names and timestamps. When access, data, and changes are controlled, you can scale the system without fear, and it starts to feel like something you can actually run the business on. Moving to slide 14. Treat this like your new operating system. Choose one source of truth, map your intake types, and set the fields and SLAs that make work measurable. Pilot, measure what breaks, iterate quickly, and use intake to protect focus by making priorities explicit. If you want more frameworks like this, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what your biggest intake problem is right now. Automation scales work. Understanding scales decisions.